to make him sit like a Saint Bernard. This is the story of the Poodle and the Saint Bernard. When an owner has a dog, one of the first things they try to do is train them. Come here, Fido. Come here. Sit, roll over. This particular owner had a Saint Bernard. This is the story of the Poodle and the Saint Bernard. The Saint Bernard was from East Cleveland, Ohio. We're not going to say where the Poodle was from. But if you pay attention to the story or anything, maybe you'll find out. The Saint Bernard was the dog and got married to a Poodle. And in the marriage, or in the situation, the Poodle ends up being the leader and making the Saint Bernard sit. Well, you would think that since the Saint Bernard is big, strong, powerful, knowledgeable, destined to be in control and in charge, you would think that the Saint Bernard would be the shot caller. But that little white Poodle with the frisky tail that's well groomed, and anybody's ever seen a Poodle, they're cute little things. Tail waggles. Usually the owners do a very good job, a mother and father do a pretty good job of raising the Poodle. Now the Saint Bernard rarely has two owners, mother, father, usually just a mother. So let's just say, for the sake of the story, that the Saint Bernard only has a mother. Relationships don't work, but this structure right now is about to suffer. This whole story of the Poodle and the Saint Bernard. The Saint Bernard is doing the best that he can to learn the tricks that will please the Poodle. Trying to do the flips, trying to roll over, trying the best that he can. Over time, he learns how to sit. When the Poodle says, sit, right down. Even though the Saint Bernard has a natural instinct to protect, war, provide, and be in attack mode to save the relationship, the Poodle said, we're going to do it my way. Nah, we're doing it the way I want to do it. Saint Bernard sitting there, tongue wagging, unaware of the bear trap that the Saint Bernard is actually sitting in. Now, for anybody that knows anything about a Saint Bernard and a bear, they're different sizes. But if the trap is designed to kill a 7'1", 300-something pound NBA All-Star, then everybody else will be sentenced to death. Somebody said size don't matter. I'm using size as an example to show you that there's no fear in these poodles. That's what the size represents. They don't care about anything that you think they care about. And you got sensitive men who cry and pout when the poodle is dominating the St. Bernard. Most St. Bernards don't even know that they're being dominated until it's over. And it's too late to realize what happened. 34 dive has been shoved down your throat, and they scoring touchdowns after touchdown after touchdown. You thought y'all was on the same team, but you didn't know. You didn't know that little cute white powder puff tail wagging poodle that's barely 10 inches off the ground. I mean, you know, from the ground is that lethal. Poodle we're talking about. Talking about a poodle. A lot of times poodles are animals that are held in the arms of the owners. Poodles, a lot of time, are clothed. How many times have you seen a poodle walking around on the street by themselves? Probably never seen it, have you? Because poodles are well taken care of. And sometimes it's by multiple St. Bernards. Watch out now, Idutricllak. You better watch it. Hey, you better be careful. Talking about poodles having more than one St. Bernard. And you wonder why there's no respect for the one that signed up for the program officially. Brought a dog bowl and everything that got diamond gems with her name across the front of the bowl. She said it ain't enough. He runs out, tries to produce a pillow, diamond encrusted pillow that's soft as bird feathers assembled inside of it. It ain't good enough. St. Bernard trying to do flips. He getting fat. Can't hardly get off the ground. Starting to get worried because he know there's other St. Bernards on Facebook, Instagram, any other dating site, any other social media site, packet. Poodle tells the St. Bernard, sit! Tail goes straight down to the ground. Tongue starts wagging. No idea what to do. 10 years go by. 13. Skip the 13th floor, right? Don't they say that? Skip the 13th floor. It's supposed to be a bad luck floor. Friday the 13th, whatever. Bad luck. Bad for the St. Bernard when dealing with a poodle. Poodles are dangerous. St. Bernards used to be. St. Bernards are just like a, I don't know what the name of this movie was. Somebody got to help me, but I remember. Cuba Gooding Jr. was in this movie. And he actually walked into this laboratory, and there was a caged gorilla, and the cage was open. Cuba Gooding backed up because he felt like, oh my, you know, that is a cage, and it has a gorilla inside of it. The gentleman scientist / doctor or whatever he was continued to walk and told Cuba Gooding, don't worry about it. He's broken. The gorilla was sitting in the back of the cage, man, legs folded, head slumped, arms dangling beside him. No purpose in life. Big old gorilla, no purpose. Didn't even have to have a poodle to tell him to sit. was already slumped. So when you see your big grown video game playing, unemployment having, 6'4", 300-pound, massive amount of man that's sitting in an environment where he's being controlled by a woman and dominated to the level that he has no more fight in him. Probably throw a punch to somebody that will walk into it and still eat that. Weak now. Just totally destroyed. Time will do that to him. This is the story of the Poodle and the St. Bernard.